Welcome back. What types of scams are Nevadans most likely to fall victim to? Who is being targeted, and what apps are these scammers using to get your hard-earned money? Thanks so much for staying with us here at 6:30. I'm Joe Mueller.
And I'm Trisha Keene. Tonight, 13 Chief Investigator Darcy Spears has answers and tips on how you can avoid online scams.
Anyone can be a target.
I'm college educated, I'm smart, and I remember coming out of this like, how did I get here?
Victims across the country
I spent 2 years being homeless because of this.
Have unwittingly helped online scammers set a new record, bilking Americans out of $10.3 billion in 2022. In Nevada, newly released data from the FBI and Federal Trade Commission shows more than 9,000 victims lost $127 million to online scams last year, and the toll is much greater than money.
I didn't want to live. I had shame. I had guilt.
A 4-time scam victim, Henderson resident Terry Hampton is a walking cautionary tale.
I was newly divorced.
When a scammer befriended her on Instagram.
He is supposedly a country western singer, and I did speak to him one time.
But it was mostly texting for a year and a half. His story? Separating from his wife, he needed money to build a new house for a new life with Terry.
So I'm thinking, wow, God answered a prayer, brought me a wonderful man. I'm going to have this gorgeous home.
The currency was a mix of cash, checks, and crypto.
He probably got, I would say, about $600,000.
Orlando, Florida resident Rebecca D'Antonio went through something similar with a romance scammer who imploded her world.
My marriage ended, and I did that whole swearing off men thing for about 2 years.
A friend convinced her to try online dating. She soon met Matthew from Australia, and they began communicating through Facebook Messenger, email, text, and over the phone.
They spend time building a rapport, building trust.
In time, Matthew claimed an issue arose, and he turned to her for help.
He was traveling with his son internationally, and the credit card that he was using for his expenses had stopped working. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be that monster, leaving an innocent 5-year-old child in a bad situation. So that's what got me starting to send the money. And things just kind of escalated from there.
How much money did you lose?
About $100,000. And I ended up having to file for bankruptcy. By the end, Discover Card was suing me. I was being evicted from my apartment. I actually became suicidal.
As for Terry, she wasn't just victimized once. She also fell into a military romance scam that took 3 years of her life and about $40,000.
He is in Texas, supposedly. Begging me to bring him home. He loves me. I mean the world to him.
It was the same type of scenario perpetrated by Chris Maxwell, a reformed Nigerian scammer who shared his story with 13 Investigates.
I was involved in military romance scam.
Using a stolen military photo and fake profile, he targeted women primarily on Facebook.
Women that are divorced, that are single, lonely, and they need someone to love and care for them.
Making them believe they were in a real relationship with a deployed military man. He eventually said he could come home if they helped him pay for a military leave form.
Usually I tell them my leave form is around $15,000 to $20,000, and most of them pay $5,000, some pay $3,000, some pay $10,000.
Over a 5-year period, he says he made about $40,000, more than enough for a comfortable living in Nigeria, where a depressed economy has made scamming a full-blown business sector. So why did he stop?
I stopped here 2021 because I scammed a woman. I scammed her over, I would say, over $20,000. She became sick. She was seeing the doctors because of me. Her kids stopped talking to her because of me. She's in debt because of me. She's 61 years old. I have a mom, and I would not want something like that to happen to my mom. So I spoke to her on video call, and she saw me, she cried, but she didn't block me. We still talk up to now.
We asked him why so many victims miss what you might think are obvious red flags.
It's a common sense, but at the same time, we can be so convincing.
Terry has literally boxed up the paper trail of her deception.
Just being in the presence of that box is a little bit traumatizing for you.
Yeah.
What does it represent?
How naive I was. How desperate. I was to be loved.
Using government data and a new poll of 5,500 online scam victims like Terry and Rebecca, reverse image search company Social Catfish published this 31-page study. The key findings: crypto accounts for nearly 25% of all losses. Other top scams include tech support, data breach, romance, and investment. Since most victims send money to foreign fraudsters, U.S. law enforcement has no jurisdiction, and the overwhelming majority of money does not get recovered.
I have gotten money back, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to what I lost, and it was not from the scammers. I got money back because there was a class action lawsuit that the Department of Justice and the FTC had brought against Western Union and had brought against MoneyGram.
Lawsuits that resulted in hundreds of millions in penalties against the two companies in 2017 and 2018 for aiding and abetting wire fraud, in many cases to scammers overseas. Victims in the Social Catfish study reported the apps where they were scammed most often included Facebook, Google Hangouts, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Plenty of Fish. Though seniors remain the most victimized group, teens and children saw the largest increase in money lost to scams. Victims 20 and younger grew nearly 2,500% from 2017 to 22, losing $8.2 million in 2017 compared to $210 million in 2022. Though Terry's experiences are painful to relive,
The way I look at it is, if one woman or one man gets the message and it doesn't ruin their life and they don't have to start all over again, glory to God. I don't want anybody to have to go through what I went through.
so how can you avoid falling victim?
When you're talking to someone on social media and you ask them for a video call, if they refuse to show you a video call, it's a scam. If they're asking you for their personal information, it's a scam. If they're asking you for money, it's a scam. That's all. Very simple.
The study underscores that with these 5 tips. Never give money or personal information to anyone you haven't met in person. Confirm their identity through a reverse image search to ensure they are who they say they are. Do not invest without consulting a trusted financial advisor and doing thorough research. Red flags include poor grammar, refusing to video chat, and seeking payment in gift cards or crypto. Be skeptical of all things crypto.
Experts warn that scams will continue to evolve and become more sophisticated and convincing with artificial intelligence and the ability to fake video and voice calls. If you're a victim, it's important to take immediate action to minimize the impact and report the incident to the appropriate authorities. We've posted links for that with this story at ktnv.com. Darcy Spears, 13 Investigates.